what if I to tell you that this is the most important chord that you will ever learn? And no, this isn't a clickbait title. This truly was one of the most revelational chords that I ever learned. By the end of this lesson, not only will you have a cool new chord to play, but you'll also understand the guitar a whole lot more once you can play this chord and know exactly what it is. It will teach you a lot about the guitar, it will fill in a lot of missing blanks, and it will even teach you how to play modes, or what modes are, basically. Alright, so this is a juicy lesson, and please stick around to the end because I wish that someone told me this a lot sooner. And you're also going to have a really cool chord progression to play as well. Alright, and again, this will help you come up with your own cool chord progressions very easily. So, what is this chord? This is an F sharp diminished chord, right? Now, we've all heard of diminished chords, and we tend to avoid them at all costs because we don't really know what they are, and we don't really know how to use them, and we associate them with jazz most of the time, right? But there's many ways to use this chord, and if we understand it, it really helps us understand the guitar a lot more. So first of all, a great way to play this chord, which is basically just an F sharp, an A, and a C, okay, in the key of G. Okay, we've got our second finger on the low E. Alright, we've got our third finger on the G on the second fret, and first finger on the C note on the B of the first fret. Now, I'm pinching this using my thumb and my two fingers here, but I could also get my pinky up here on the A string, and that will mute the D string. And when we play that into G, that's what's called the Amen chord, right? Because it's got that which sounds pretty cool. Alright, so it's very good to know that chord, and we can use that in many different ways. Sorry, I kind of get the sniffles. Okay, so why is that important? Now, the F sharp diminished, or the diminished chord in any key, is the last chord in the major scale. Okay, there's 7 chords in every key. Okay, and the 7th one is a diminished chord, right? And if we keep on skipping that chord, we're leaving a lot of stuff on the table. Alright, so let's finally learn what this means. Okay, so let's just play through in the key of G here. We'll play through the major scale. From the low E string would be 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5. And if we figure out those notes, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then we're back to G again, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the formula for extracting chords out of that, right? If I want to play in the key of G, I need to know what chords I've got to work with, right? So the formula is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. And that's it. So that would work out as a G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished. And that's it. So I'm going to play through these chords, and very shortly you're going to have the aha moment of modes. Alright, it's coming. Okay, so we're going to start here with G. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, back to G. Alright, so notice the order that I played those chords in, right? G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and then back to G. Now I want you to imagine those notes repeating, alright, over and over and over again, like a conveyor belt. Okay, they don't stop, just keep on repeating, one after the other. So when you finish at G, you come on to A again, and those chords just repeat. Now, if you start in that conveyor belt at E minor instead, now E minor is G's relative minor. Now, you might have heard of that. Basically, in the key, any major key, the 6th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the E, the minor, that is the relative minor of the major key. The evil twin, if you will. Every chord has one. Alright, so C's got A minor, for example. G's got E minor. So a lot of the time you'll find these chords together in the same chord progressions. Now, if we to start at the conveyor belt, right, we start at E minor. Okay, then after that we have F sharp diminished, then we have G, A minor, B minor, C, and so on. So it just starts from there. That is a mode. That's called Aeolian or the natural minor mode. E minor, F sharp diminished, G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor. Okay, so we have taken the same chords, played them in a different order, and basically we started from a different point, and that's us got another mode, Aeolian mode, E minor mode. Alright, and we can only play that through in full if we can play this chord and know what this chord is. Okay, so we've got all the chords that we need in a progression. Okay, we can figure it out, we can play chords using that. Now, if I want to make a chord progression, I'm going to show you another way that we can use that chord. Okay, a really cool, interesting way. Rather than play the diminished like that, we can play a diminished 7 like this. So this is F sharp diminished 7. Means we're adding in another note. And it resolves just as well back to the G chord. Okay, and a good way of spotting that, right? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we make the D shape. Okay, just like a D chord. So I would have 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 4, 5. No, 5, 5. 4, 5, 4. Sorry, 4, 5, 4, and pinky on 5. So we make a D shape and we put our pinky on 5. We have this lovely, beautiful chord. Another way to think about it is if you're looking at a bar chord, if I'm playing a G, then I just envision that the middle fret here is where I want to make my diminished chord. So if I want to do this for A, I would think here, the 6th fret. If I want to do it for a B. And here's another little cool trick, right? If you take this chord, you move it up 3 frets, another 3 frets, another 3 frets, another 3 frets. You have the same chord, but they're basically in a different order. Alright, so you start with a different inversion of it. But it's a really cool... Oh. It's a really cool technique. There you have it, guys. I hope you've learned something from this. If you have, let me know in the comments. Let me know by liking the video if you liked it. And subscribe if you haven't already, if you want more lessons like this every week. Alright guys, take it easy. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.